What would you recommend for a fountain pen to be used as a highlighter for students? And what highlighter ink would you recommend? Well, there's a couple of different options. I've spoken about highlighters like a while back. I don't even remember when. It might have been in a Q&A like last year sometime, but whatever. I thought it was pretty, interesting. I just, wanted to include it. So there's a couple of different options. As far as an actual fountain pen, the thing that I recommend usually is the Pilot Parallel. And the reason I like that is because it's pretty inexpensive and it's got, lots of varying sizes of very wide nibs. A typical fountain pen, it's going to leave you a finer line than what you would want in a highlighter. You want something that's 1.5 millimeters, 2 millimeters, 4 millimeters even, depending on the text that you're dealing with. So you want something that's pretty fat, and that's where the parallels really come in. The biggest one they have is a 6 millimeters, pretty huge. So you've got that option there. The nice thing about using a pen like that with a really fat kind of italic-like nib is, as opposed to your typical like felt tip highlighter, is those metal tips are going to hold up a lot longer. You can clean them out easier. They're not going to clog like those felt tips will. And so you'll be able to use them for a long period of time. And you can switch it up with whatever kind of ink you want pretty easily. The alternative would be something like the Platinum Preppy highlighter or the Preppy marker. Those are even less expensive than you would get with something like a Parallel, but that's more of your kind of typical felt tip, chisel tip kind of thing, like you would typically buy with a disposable, highlighter like this. So that's a good refillable highlighter option. You can either fill up the pen, like convert it as an eyedropper and fill it up with an ink. You can get highlighter cartridges, from Platinum, or you can, get a converter, like a Platinum converter, and use it. The Platinum converter will cost more than the highlighter or the marker pen will, but you can do that for sure. It's a little easier to clean and kind of use it like that, but I don't know how often you're actually changing the inks in your highlighter. Or maybe you do, I don't know. It's probably cheap enough where you could just buy multiple highlighters and so on. But as far as inks go, my favorite tends to be Noodler's Firefly. I like that one the most. The Noodler's Dragon Cats are pretty decent too. Pelican's got a couple highlighter inks. Private Reserve has the Chartreuse highlighter. They're all fairly similar, as far as I'm concerned. Noodler's has Year of the Golden Pig. That one is bulletproof, and so is the Dragon Cats. So, it really kind of depends on what color you're going for. There's not this huge selection of fountain pen highlighter inks out there, but there are a few to choose from.